artist. Beautiful. But what if the animals were actually animals that represented meaning and purpose? The reason that there are problems at home because they think they're not understood. Therefore, consistent communication is, and consistency is habit, which I already put in here somewhere. Practice leads to prevention.
Right.
Are you going to stop growing? Or are you going to just make me feel short?
Yeah, come on.
Ya habibi, hi.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
But we're here.
I know. Dr. Susan Reiter.
Hello, Susan. How are you?
Very nice to meet you.
Like, I'll be on the right, so I can be on my laptop and go through it. And then at any point into the curriculum, I'll have you.
How has your trip been? 36 hours. Hi. Hello. How are you, Sarah?
Nice to meet you.
Philip was one of our youngest ambassadors. When I tell the story of basketball, that's him.
Yeah. Go into dark areas, but the whole point is cruise your emotions with positivity. One along the lines. For mentoring students, and it's been my own way, but everything we do in mental health has been one-on-one. So you see your therapist, you see your psychiatrist, you see you have all the help you need, your counselors at school, but when you leave the space, you're on your own again. So you have all these thoughts and all this healing that has happened in your session. How can we take it outside that? But mental health is not something that you can do on your own. It's community. It's about your community supporting you. I have two amazing women here. Both of them come from medicine. Both of them come from mental health, and it's been great exploring what I do as non-clinical with people that are actually living this on a day-to-day basis. Everybody understood these words. Everybody understood the colors that related to the words. Now, if you talk about bands, there are millions of bands that are being done. But it's one band for one thing, and then you go into another country and it's another band for another thing. What's different about us is these are the 7 bands that are the same for a kid that's in a university in the United States, or a kid that's in the university in India or in France or in Asia.
You have to take action. I mean, you have to be worried about it. What if he's making these statements to get attention? And so it doesn't matter. Romania, and then she goes into the French system. Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yes, I've been there since I was 2 years old.
It's leveraging the voice of role models, and I came back and my friends thought, oh my God, that's amazing, just the name is great. But then what does mental health mean? So I have the power of words and I have mental health, and this has nothing to do with my original brand. I had to say, as an artist and as a designer, how can you describe mental health in art? And so I sat with my assistant Alexis, and we came up with many different prints, and then eventually landed on this one. And mental health is the movement of emotions. So we have these dark areas and bright areas, and science shows that the human mind goes through 2,400 emotions a day. And so you can be anywhere on this board in the morning and then be somewhere else. And the one behind you shows our original print, which is positive words that run along the lines of the emotions.
I feel like working too hard, because I've seen it multiple times. Like kids who just work way too hard and they just burn out so fast. And like I had like a friend who he was on the volleyball team. He was like the entire year, he was like a perfect kid, he was cool, and then he burned out and it just crashed from there. Like everything, like school, volleyball, just from like overworking himself, not giving him like a break.
This is not an option, this is a necessity. It's a prevention. The power of words, emotional intelligence in a box, and it's really simple. It helps you. What our mission is to help you identify, understand, manage, and have empathy for others. What this does is you think about your emotions but nobody else in your classroom, for example, or in your office atmosphere or at the hospital is talking about their emotions. What we do here is we give you a chance to express it. So you have an excuse to reach someone. It's a conversation starter. You have an excuse to reach someone and say, is everything okay? Would you like to talk? And then we also teach through Susan's curriculum that it's a matter of respect. Respect is the first lesson we get in the program. Is you are, and young kids, I have an 8-year-old from Saudi who said to me that, you know, what if my friends don't want to talk to me? And that's fine. So fashion is such a big part of my life. I've been privileged to be able to work with some of the really amazing brands at a really young age. Embroidery was my specialty. And then I ended up launching my own brand, which is how I met my dear friend Oksana. We are a luxury brand, 100% Italian. And in 2022, we were in Cleveland and I was asked to be the fashion event at the NBA All-Star Weekend. So they always have a fashion element at the Super Bowl and the NBA All-Star Weekend. And they asked if I would be the fashion event. And my brand, which is Télé Blanc, gives back, has 2 pillars. So we give back to education for underprivileged kids and to pediatric cancer research. Both of them are my 2 older kids, grassroots foundations. And when they asked me to be the fashion event, it was an incredible moment for me to, as an American brand, more with a global presence, to be able to do something so big in the United States. And the only thing is, they said there's one condition: can you give back to mental health? And on my flight back, I realized this was my moment. Mental health has been a very big part of my life, but this was my moment for me to make change. And the reason I like to tell this is because when we talk to kids, no matter what you're doing and no matter where you are, think big, because whatever career you're in, you can make a difference here, and they do what they have to do. But we want to make it more interesting and fun to talk about emotions and well-being. We start with leaders, and all of you, anyone that takes it on becomes a leader. Philip is a leader for kids his age. Anastasia is a leader. Start to take it on. You become a leader, so you become an ambassador. You inspire communities. And when we talk about you as leaders, we have Lisa Leslie, we have Chris Johnson. So you are in the same league as everybody else. There's one thing that ties you all together, and that's the power of 7. The band bond therapy is what bonds you.
I love that this message is being spread through one of my favorite toys that I had been growing up on, and also Roblox is also very beautiful.
That's amazing. That's a great Instagram moment for us there.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask one question. How does each animal represent the chakra that they were chosen?
They represent the emotion. Yes, the chakra is, if you Google it, it's all there. How does the elephant show empathy? And we will actually tell through the stories how the elephants show empathy. How does the penguin show resilience? And just yesterday, Diana and I were talking about stories, and there are documentaries. If you watch documentaries about animals, you see them show that emotion, but we don't really connect it to us, right? It's always about how beautiful that this penguin, had to walk for miles and miles to get the food and have it in its mouth to come and feed, and that's resilience. So we don't connect it in an education sense, I don't think, to teach a child that look at how resilient the penguin is. So we want to tell these stories in a very meaningful and sweet way to kids, so that they understand and embrace the penguin and embrace the dog. How does a dog show compassion? No matter whether you're happy or sad, the dog just comes and is always happy to see you. So we also, and maybe I'll scroll to the page. So this is where, sorry, I have 200, I have lots of, when you talk about ambitious, this is my ambitious vision.